Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have.
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Welcome to episode 178 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and I'm in the pod port. Chuck's in his truck. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm up camp. What's happening?
Not too much, man. You're making one last-ditch effort to go after those thunder chickens, eh?
I got to, man. I have to. It's not that I want to. It's because I have to.
Hey,
Right? Little Tom Kelly. Yeah.
attaboy.
I'm very excited, man. I'll be honest with you. I just don't. I can't believe it's over. It's almost over. You know.
Yeah, man. Literally.
It's a bad day.
It's a bad day. Oh, man. I know. But you know what? Moving on to bigger and better things.
That's right. I guess sort of.
Moving on to another season.
We got 3D. We got all kinds of stuff coming.
Oh, absolutely. Camo care shoots coming up. The R100's coming up. It's fishing season, scouting season, all kinds of seasons going on right now. Almost dove season coming up, you know.
You know what else is coming up?
What?
Rattlesnake season.
Oh, my goodness. You are
Yeah,
stoked
buddy.
for that. I'm
You coming with us?
terrified.
We're gonna go after camo cares, I think.
No kidding.
Coming? Yeah, you coming? You want to face your fears?
I said my
Hunt the
answer,
snake?
but it might have broken up. I'm not sure. The phone might have broke up.
Oh, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, uh, uh,
Yeah. Yeah. So there's my
Oh.
answer. There you go. It just I don't know. I know you guys love it. It just freaks me out so bad. I just don't do snakes, man.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like that. You know, I mean, I don't really want to like play with them, but I do enjoy everything that comes with rattlesnake hunting. You know, the scenery,
Oh yeah.
the hiking, the different things you get to see that time of year. Wild blueberries are starting to bloom and you can pick them. And
Oh yeah.
it's really cool, man.
I got to be honest, man. Any other thing, if you would have said that we were going after poisonous iguanas, I'd be there with you. But a snake just freaks me out. It's not natural. It is, but it's not.
What if I just told you that we were deer scouting?
I might go, but depends where we're going.
Well,
We're deer scouting in really rocky areas.
hey, we typically see a lot of deer and some bears.
That's
once in a while,
true.
but
That's true.
yeah.
No,
So, anyways, we're back anyhow. Sorry for the little absence there, guys. We dropped a couple episodes last week for you. We're trying to get caught up on things. We got a good one coming tonight, and then I'm trying to line one up right now to get back into some deer content moving forward. So we'll see. We're probably going to bounce around a little bit after this episode. You know, this one's going to most likely be turkey centric, but we may bounce around on this one too, because our guest he had a lot going on over the last couple years. So
Oh yeah, he does it all.
see where it takes us. But
Yeah, we'll
before
see
we
how
get
that
into
goes.
we got to get into the business.
The business kicking off with Scree Gear, man. Their pack system, their bino harness, all their accessories, everything's out right now. They are giving away a $500 gift card right now if you spend $600 on their pack system, which I think is absolutely bananas.
Yeah, you're basically getting $600 worth of gear for $100 if you think about it, because then you could turn right around after you buy your pack system and go spend $500 on their website and get yourself a killer killer hookup on all kinds of clothing and whatnot. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer for me personally, but hey, man, that's good till June 3rd, so don't sit on it too long.
Yep. Coming up here pretty quick.
Yes,
And
it is.
if it's your first purchase, you can use code WDP20 for 20% off your first purchase.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work in this whole deal with the pack system, but hey,
I
you
don't
can
know.
try it.
I don't know. It all
Definitely try
depends.
it. We also will have a link if you're in our social medias or anywhere you can go through our link tree and find the link directly to the Scree site. And I believe if you do it that way as well, we get a little bit of recognition. That way they know that we sent you. So if you need that link, let us know. We can send it to you, or you can find it right through our link tree.
Perfect. Moving on. VIP
nice.
archery.
There you go.
Baddest
you wanna talk
broadheads in the business, man.
Yeah, which ones you want to talk about this week?
I don't know. I was going to leave that one up to you.
I'm thinking the Commander. The
Ooh.
Commander 100 grain is going to be in my quiver this year for sure.
The old meat missile.
Yeah, man, that thing is nasty.
I would agree, man. Oh, I'm looking at it right now. That thing is bad to the bone.
It is bad to bones too, because I have crushed some bones with that broadhead.
Yeah, man. That thing
Yeah,
is
I've done some.
bad.
I really liked that broadhead last year. It shot really, really well for me, and to be honest, it did some damage. So I was very excited to finally put it to use. But I don't think you can go wrong. They have the whole lineup full of great broadheads.
Yes, they do. 100% made in America by veterans. Ooh, how do you complain about that?
Hard to beat.
Hard to beat. Yeah, I would agree.
Give me the business. What's next?
Back 40 Seed Co.
Okay.
Going with their Back 40 Clover blend because it seems like it's like clover season, doesn't it?
It does, and clover is king. So we say it all the time, man. I mean, I was just out with a friend the other day, and he was talking about some of his food plot stuff, and I was like, you know what you need here? A little Back 40 seed. So I was trying to get him hooked up with some Back 40 seed, try to get him planting that stuff, because if you're going to do a food plot, you might as well do it right.
I would agree, man. And you can plant it the whole way into June. You can wait until August and plant it, up through October if you want some of that late season. It's good to go, man.
Yeah. And the best part about that is these guys are in Pennsylvania right here. They are growing and testing this stuff in our fields locally. So if you're a local listener, you should have full confidence in their blends that they're going to do really well up here.
Absolutely. And since it's still turkey season, buddy.
Let me say it. ANF.
There you go.
Call. Booyah.
What are you going to be running tomorrow, buddy?
I will be running what just worked for me in my last hunt is the red ghost cut.
Ooh, I'm a fan myself.
Oh, yeah. It's become my very favorite call. I've been basically running that in combination with a combo cut in the signature series.
Nice.
The competitions. So those two, when I want to get a little bit louder with a little bit of rasp, I'll run that combo cut. And I could really just crank on that thing. But when I got to soften it up, or if I need tree yelps or anything that's a little bit lower end, I really like the control I get out of the ghost cut with the whips and the whines and purrs and, just those little bubble clucks and everything you can get out of it. So
absolutely,
that's my favorite.
Well, that's one heck of a sales pitch there, bud.
Heck yeah. I mean, it just worked for me this week. So, multiple birds have seen the fate of the red ghost cut.
Oh, buddy, that is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's it for the business, guys.
Nice. We gotta get into this episode, man. I've been looking forward to this. It's been a lot of back and forth with trying to schedule.
Yeah, it has.
Turkey season's tough, man. We're all grinding, trying to get last hunts in different states and traveling, and it's just been a nightmare.
Well, it's just like deer season too, man. Everybody wants to hunt. They don't want to talk. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Guys are getting up early. They're staying out late. It's just hard getting stuff scheduled and multiple people trying to get them on it. Yeah. It's one of those things, but no, I'm excited for this one. I can't wait to see where it goes. I know we are going to try and keep it a little bit more turkey centric, but I'm curious to see where it goes, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely transition into some deer stuff too. I will say that, you know, I think it's a little tougher even scheduling people late turkey season because, man, it is getting light out at like 5:20 in the morning.
Right?
So if you want to hunt, you know, you got to be in bed to get up at 3:30, you know, and we're recording, you know, right now it's what, 9:30 at night almost.
Yep, yep.
So, you know, it's going to be a rough morning for me, but I don't care. I'm probably going to call off work and get after it.
Attaboy, a true turkey hunter.
It's a Friday anyways, right? Already a short week. Let's just make it a little shorter.
There you go, buddy. I like the attitude.
Heck yeah. This is not my fault. This is Pennsylvania's fault for ending our season on a Friday.
That is actually true. And, you know, this is, I mean, who else, what other seasons are in right now? We got to be one of the latest seasons at this point.
It's us, Maine, and Michigan.
Yeah. Out of 50 states.
Maine
That's bananas.
Maine goes out on June 1st, and I think Michigan's like June 6th or June 7th.
Wow. Unreal.
Yeah.
Almost made it to the end. And you know what? Perfect timing, because here is Lane.
Perfect. Let's get them on. All right, guys, we're back, and we are here with the one and only Mr. Lane Housner. And Lane here is a guy that I have met prior to podcasting with in person, which you can't say very often, and also someone we've been following along with for a long time. And pretty excited to have you on, man. I am pretty fired up about it. How are you doing tonight, my good friend, Mr. Lane Housner?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. The weather's been beautiful. Been fishing a bunch and prepping for deer season, baby.
Oh boy, there it is. The D word's already out. We've been 30 seconds into this thing. No, that's awesome. And it seems like you had actually a really fun spring and an absolutely phenomenal fall. Last few years, dude, following along with you and your channel and within the presence and everything you guys been doing, it's just been absolutely insane. Some killer content, just really cool, man. And it's great meeting up with you at the Great American Outdoor Show. I think that was this past year's, actually. This past year or the year prior, I can't remember, but
Yeah.
do they all blend in after a while?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude, it's always nice meeting you and like just meeting people out and about. You know what I mean? And that's what's nice about the hunting community. It's like everyone is just so friendly for the most part, and like, you know, it's just nice to put like faces with names, I guess. You know, like, you know how it is.
Absolutely. It's one of the best things about why we started this and getting into all of this with the podcast and everything else, like the connections you make and the people you get to talk to. So you're definitely one of the good ones, man. And it's been really fun following along. But if anybody out there doesn't know who you are or isn't familiar with your channel, why don't we give you a quick little rundown, let you introduce yourself.
All right. Yeah. My name's Lane Housner from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I run a YouTube channel called In the Presence, and I also do a little marketing stuff for Dryad Saddles. And that's pretty much all I'm doing right now in the outdoor space. And then also do like electrical work, you know, on the side too. So I kind of got it nice. My boss freaking lets me work when I want to and have off when I want to. So like pretty much right now I'm grinding, you know, all summer I'm grinding, and freaking fall, dude, I'm hunting. Spring, I'm hunting, you know. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, I love the outdoors, man. Love deer hunting, love turkey hunting, just love anything, dude. Like, it's just being outdoors is just something special. Something about it.
Living the dream,
Yeah.
buddy. That sounds awesome. I think I need to move out that way and get a hold of your boss.
Oh man, I mean, you could. I mean, you know anything about running solar panels or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
No, yeah. A
But
little
we're willing.
sketchy up on the roof, but it's all right, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Still buff.
man. No, that's awesome. I mean, and that's kind of a perk of being in you know, the outdoor industry, if you want to call it that, running a YouTube and stuff like that. Being able to get out and actually have the time to get out and make content. I mean, that's kind of, you got the best of both worlds there.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm still have an actual like fixed income, you know what I mean, for the most part, you know what I mean. That's nice. I feel like I don't know, like at any point, with all the social media stuff and all the YouTube stuff, dude, it could go away. And then like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? If you're just solely doing that. So like having a skilled like trade or something like that is always good to have in your back pocket too. You know what I mean? So that's kind of just my view on it.
Oh
And
yeah.
honestly, like, dude, sitting around in the entire summer just doing nothing, just twiddling your thumbs, just making money off YouTube, dude, I would get so dang bored, dude. I gotta do something. You know what I mean? I'm not lazy.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I feel you. And you know what? It's fishing season. Like you said, you were out catfishing tonight. Why not?
Yep, yep, yep.
Awesome. Now, Lane, did you grow up in Pennsylvania? Did you live here your whole life?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I grew up in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Obviously, went to Manheim Central. Yeah, man. I've moved probably, I don't know, 15 minutes away from like where I actually grew up. I mean, I've always been here. I mean, like there was bits where I went out west and guided. I guided in Wyoming and I guided in Montana too, but that was only like a year. And then I also did an internship with the Untamed down in like southern West Virginia. So I was down there for a little bit too. But yeah, for the most part, it's been, kind of local.
Yeah, it's cool. Those are some wild dudes as well. The Untamed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That was fun, man.
Fun.
Bear hunting and stuff. That was like the glory days back then. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. But you're basically in the similar age range. Did you get out hunting before you were 12, or you one like us where you had to wait till you were 12 to get out?
Yeah. So like, no one in my family hunts. So like, I pretty much went to like I went to elementary school and then I shifted to this like Christian day school in Manheim, and I met my buddy Alex Sensenik, and him and his dad were big time hunters, and I was always like kind of interested in it, but I just never really dipped my feet in because like no one in my family hunts obviously. So they kind of took me in under their wing and taught me and just like took me out and stuff like that. And then like my dad took me out a couple times and my grandpa took me out a couple times, but it was never like my first deer, for instance, like hunted with my grandpa, and dude, he had no idea what he was doing. You know what I mean? Like we just walked back to this power line where we always usually see some does. Sure enough, there's 3 does out there. Freaking bam, I got one. And then after that, it was pretty much like I got a bow the next year, and I started shooting bow, and I was like, all right, I want to kill a deer with my bow. So then they'd pretty much just take me up to the cabin and just like, all right, free range. I'd just run around the property wherever I wanted to go. It was just me, myself, and I, you know what I mean? I killed my first buck that year. I think I was like 13 or 14, something like that. And dude, I was freaking hooked after that. After that, I don't think I killed another rifle deer for like a couple more years. It's just been all archery. So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start in hunting. I'm not like, I'm not freaking, I don't know everything. I'm still learning, but I think I'm like getting it down because I'm starting to like kill deer consistently, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah. Like I remember back in the day, man, it would just be like, can I just kill one deer, please? Can I just kill one deer? Now it's like, dude, I guarantee you, I go out, and freaking kill a deer like within the first week of season now. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, well, not only that, you start to figure things out. You start to figure properties out.
yeah,
Everything.
100%.
That will take
Yeah.
time. A lot of people that are getting into this later in their lives, they see the success from some people and they think that's just an immediate thing that happens right off the rip. But like you said, when you first start, you just want to get out and kill a deer. I mean, that's your goal. I just want to kill one. And now, anymore, you put all these years in and it's like, okay, I think my goal is, 2, 3, 4 deer, something like that. It's not super unreasonable.
Yep. Yeah, I think I killed like 11 or 12 last year. You know
Oh
what I mean?
man.
Yeah, I think I killed like 4 bucks, killed an antelope. The rest were just does, and that Sika hind. But like, yeah, and then like, dude, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, there's something about it, dude. I just love it. And also like just the meat aspect too. Like, you go to the grocery store nowadays, dude, it's crazy. I think I went to the grocery store today. I think I got a box of cereal, a thing of milk, like 3 cans of soup, and I think my total was like $15-$20. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't even know what they're putting in that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just crazy. At least the meat where you shoot it, and like turkey, deer, whatever. Like, exactly what happened to that deer. Like you did the whole process. It's so you can't beat it.
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny to hear like the way you kind of grew up hunting on your own, and it makes sense because you seem super comfortable. You do a lot of these like by yourself kind of trips all over the country. You're chasing deer and turkeys and different things all over the place. And a lot of them are solo missions, it seems like, and self-filming, which, we'll get into some of your YouTube channel stuff too, because you just dropped a video recently about some self-filming stuff, which is pretty cool. I'd advise anybody to go check that out. But it just does seem like that played a part in how you can just pick up and go wherever and chase things all by yourself and feel comfortable.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I'm not afraid to do stuff solo. I've done a lot of it solo. Like, I mean, it's definitely a little mind tackling, but like, not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a huge hurdle for people to go out of their comfort zone. Something like that, a trip to most people just doesn't even seem feasible because it's out of their comfort zone. They're kind of afraid to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you could always wait around for people, and then they flake or like something happens. You know what I mean? Like my buddy Alex, I mean, he has a wife. Like, dude, he's got limited time. Most of my buddies are kind of like that, or they got a lot more responsibilities, so like they're kind of tied down way more than what I am. So you just got to freaking do it while you can.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit of what you grew up doing and a little bit by necessity then, it seems like.
Yep.
Well, let's jump into your turkey season then, since we're talking spring. It's still turkey season here. We're still hanging on to one day in Pennsylvania. Okay, we're by a thread. I want to talk a little bit about your spring, man. It started off down south, and you had some pretty good hunts down there. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So I started off last year. I went out to Kansas, killed an eastern, and then I drove down to Oklahoma, killed a Rio, and then I went out to New Mexico right after that and killed 2 Merriams. So then after that, I was like, oh dang it, dude, I should have just went down to Florida before that. So I was like, this year I have to go down to Florida. First stop, I have to go down to Florida and try to get my slam. So Roy Hofford hit me up and he's like, dude, come on down to Florida with us. Like, I'm staying at my buddy Trey's house. So I was like, all right, dude. So I went down there, met up with Roy, Cole, and like all those dudes. I mean, dude, it was awesome. Like, it's like I talked about before. Like, it's crazy just like who you meet and now like friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I got like 5 new good friends. And I'm still keeping all contact with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool how that all works. But yeah, went down there and Trey shot a bird. I filmed him, and then the rest of the week, I think I was there a week. I might have been there like a little bit longer, but dude, we freaking just tried and just nothing, man. I mean, just like there was one day where we like pretty much pie faced the bird, like he was gobbling, and then we just went just a little bit too far, and bam, there he was, spooked him, But those Osceolas, it's like weird. Like you got to be within like 400 yards to even hear a bird. It's just like all those palmetto trees and, everything is just canceling that sound, and how flat it is too. The swamps probably plays a factor in it. It's pretty wild. Like it's definitely the toughest turkey hunt I've ever done. And I didn't kill down there. I'm gonna go back this year though. And then came back here and pretty much just worked. I probably should have hit other states by the time. I was like, I'm just gonna save for deer hunting. And then Maryland opened, and I spent I don't even know how many days hunting Maryland. I mean, I have gotten so close, man. I have had birds like right at that 60, 70 yard like line, just a touch too far for me to feel confident sending it. I can't even tell you, probably like 10, 11 times, like just right there. And I was on a brand new like piece out in like Western Maryland. So I feel like towards the end of the season, I mean, even when was the last time I think I was down there May like 20th or like 18th or something, like one of the last days of Maryland season. I almost killed one there too. But like it was just wild trying to learn this piece. And I feel like next year I'll be able to like get on them right away, way better than what I did this year, And then PA opened, and yeah, pretty much just been hunting PA a bunch, and finally killed one a couple of days ago, I think it was, or maybe I don't even know when it was, but yeah, it was freaking wild, man. That bird was wild. It was like, so I found a pocket of birds probably like a week prior, And then I went in with a buddy, tried to kill him, messed up on him, and then I went in myself, and I had these birds like, I mean, I had a Jake pitch down right in front of me, and then he stood at like 15 yards, all straight up, gobbling his head off, dude. And I could have shot him at any time. I was like, I'm not shooting a Jake, you know. And then the two longbeards pitched down, and they worked around me, and I mean, I could hear him spitting, but it was just too dang thick. I couldn't see him or nothing. I mean, I had a Jake in front of me, so I couldn't even move. And then they faded off, and they faded across the road, and then like sure enough, dude, here they come back, and dude, they freaking split, and one goes into this field right pretty much like 100 yards behind me, and it's like it's all that buckbrush stuff, and it's real thick in the actual woods, and there's like little open pockets that, you know, open woods and stuff where they usually strut at and stuff, but where I was, it was just so nasty thick. Like, he was not coming to me, he was just staying on that field and just freaking bah bah gobbling. And then they split, and then one comes down the road, and I mean, he's at like, I can see him. He pops out like 60. I mean, he's hammering, you know, he's coming. And then he's about 30 yards on the road right in front of me, about to like actually go in the wood line, you know, and I probably could have shot him on the road if I really wanted to, but it just wasn't, you know, 100%. And like, it wasn't really super open either. And I never really had a clear shot. And, dude, he was about to come in. He was like 30, 35 yards right in front of me, like kind of behind some thick stuff. And, dude, a logging truck comes down the road. Dude, I seen him freaking like pop down out of strut and just freaking beeline it right away from me. And I'm like, oh, man. And I kind of got greedy because the bird behind me is still gobbling. So I'm like, all right, screw this bird. I'm going to go after this other bird. So I turn around, try to go after this other bird. I ended up messing up on him, bumping him. And then I'm like, dang it, dude, like, you know, I should have just probably just waited there retrospect, you know, like I was walking out, and of course that bird that the logging truck spooked, he's on the other side of the road, just out there, you know, strutting, doing this thing. He never gobbled once. I hit that edge. I thought it was over, and boom, there he was. I spooked him too. And I was like, God dang it, dude. You know, what I should have done is just sat there and been like, all right, that logging truck didn't spook him that bad. I should have just sat there and just waited another probably 30 minutes, and he probably would have strolled right through. But it was still wild. And then I went back in a couple days later, and I was standing on like pretty much where I heard that Jake, and he gobbled, and he was down like way down off the road, like to the left of me there. And I was like, all right, I got to swing, get on this bird. So I swung around on him, set up, and I was probably like, I don't know, 150 yards away from him. And I made the mistake of freaking calling to him, I think like too much in the tree. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to call anymore. You know, it was probably like 6:20. He still didn't pitch. And I was like, dude, he's probably freaking just sitting up there, just waiting for me, like waiting for like what he thinks is a hen to stroll underneath of him and then pitch down. And I was like, I'm just not even going to say another word until I know for a fact he's on the ground. It was probably like, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes later, all of a sudden he hammered, and he was way to the left of where he was actually like roosted at. And I was like, all right, this game on. So I called, dude. I mean, here he comes. I mean, he was double gobbling and stuff. You know, I mean, like anything I was throwing at him, this bird was gobbling. So he's coming. He's probably at like, I don't know, 80, 70 yards away down in the bottom. I can't see him because it's so dang thick. And deer are strolling in right below me, dude. They're all like probably 30, 20 yards. You know what I mean? They're all just feeding, doing their thing. And all of a sudden I mean, he's still hammering, coming in. All of a sudden, I just hear him start stomping, and all of a sudden, one just, whoosh, whoosh, dude, they all freaking out they go, dude, pretty much right past the bird. And I'm like, oh, dude, this ain't good. This ain't good. So I wait a little bit, and I call, and of course, dude, the bird like kind of worked around me, and then like he's still probably right at that 80-yard mark. I'm like, he ain't coming in, dude. Like he ain't coming in. The deer spooked him. Like he ain't coming in. So I just let him fade off. I mean, he was still gobbling a little bit on his own. So I waited till he's probably like 250, 300, and then I just freaking boogied and got down, and I probably got within, I don't know, I was probably 150 yards away from that turkey from 8:30 until I shot him at 11. And I mean, it was wild. Like, you know, there was times where he wouldn't gobble for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, it's over. You know, I'd pull my face mask down, and I'm like all pissed. You know, I'm like, it's freaking over. And I'd do some soft stuff. He wouldn't gobble, and I'd just freaking lay into it. Dude, he'd freaking hammer. I'm like, all right, he's still there. You know what I mean? And there was one time where like, it was probably like 9:30, and I was like, I just got to like stand up and see if I can even freaking see him. So I stood up. Dude, there he is strutting out there, like, I don't know, like 90 yards, 100 yards. Like, oh, dude, this bird's still right here. You know, like it was pretty wild. And I just kept getting like following him. He would never come in, but he was just still just out there at like 100 yards, you know. And then finally I got quiet, scratched for a little bit, and it was probably like 10, 15, and all of a sudden, sure enough, here he comes, and he passes by me at 40 yards, kind of above me. I didn't think he was going to come in that way. And then all of a sudden he just like cut up, and I was like, oh man, like I don't freaking know. So I stayed there obviously and freaking hammered on my call, and he gobbled, and he was probably like 80 yards away, and then I called again, dude. He cut the distance, and now he's probably at like 40, 50 yards. And I mean, he is right there. And I mean, he did not leave that spot till until I shot him at 11, and then it was 11 o'clock, and I was like, all right, he's gobbled up in here probably 6 times. He hasn't moved. I was like, I can wait here till 12, and he's probably not coming. So I was like, I got to just make a little move on him. So I freaking just got down, crawled, and there's like a little rock like crest, right? So I got up right in there and freaking pretty much popped up, and I waited there, and all of a sudden he hammered, and dude, he's like 25 yards away. I'm freaking, all right, lean out a little bit. Oh, there she was, baby. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. Like hanging with the bird all day like that was one of the only times I've done that. You know what I mean? Most of the times I would have been like, oh man, it's over, but yeah, just staying on them freaking paid off.
Dude, that is awesome. That was a really good hunt, actually. I love how absolutely juiced you are about this, man. Your energy is wild.
Sorry, man.
No, it's good.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It's good. That's
great.
a good thing. I
You
love
probably
it.
can't even understand a word I'm saying, dude.
No,
I just
you're
freaking
doing-
mumble and freaking go.
You're doing just fine, man. I love the energy. I actually need to absorb some of that so I get on your level right now. That's awesome.
He got me fired. That's for sure.
Oh man, but yeah, dude, it was a fun one, dude. Like that was freaking fun. I didn't get my bonus PA tag, so like I only, that was pretty much it. And then after that, I hunted Maryland until it ended on the 23rd there. But that was pretty much my season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you at least had a lot of fun, had a lot of good encounters, and
I learned a bunch, dude. You know what I mean? I guarantee you next year, the second I go down there for Maryland opening day, I guarantee you within a week, 2 weeks, I'll probably have a bird dead, hopefully. I kind of got an idea where they're all hanging at, and I'm sure they're going to be right back in there next year. You know how it is.
Yep. Yeah, when you find those nice little pockets, it's just a matter of time.
Yep. And also, like, once you find, like, open woods and kind of where they hang out at and, like, understand, all right, they're probably not going to be over here. They're probably going to be over here. I feel like it'll really pay dividends next year.
Yeah. How do you feel about Florida next year?
Oh, I think I'll kill one. I mean, like, I feel way better now, knowing now what I know now, way better than now. You know what I mean? If that made any sense whatsoever. But
I was maybe sworn to some secrecy for where we went down there and whatnot, but every year they try to talk me back into going down to Florida. So I don't know. Maybe next year I'll go back. I doubt it. There's a lot of other. I mean, I killed down there, so it's like there's other states I'd rather kind of go and
100%.
see. But it's hard because not many other states are open that early either. So it's like the opportunity is there, where I don't know. It's tough. It's tough seeing other people hunt turkey, and you're sitting at home. And
I know.
What I'm gonna be doing.
I know. I'm the same way, dude. I'll scroll on Facebook and I'm like, God dang it, dude, I should have been out there this morning. You know what I mean? It's like I'm happy for you, but also a little bit of me is just so damn jealous. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, damn it, dude. Dang well that bird just came in just screaming his head off, and I'm just sitting at home doing something. You know what I mean? Or sitting at work or just doing something else. Like I don't know.
Yeah, especially on them turkey killing days. It seems like there's some days on social media where, man, it's like everybody and their brother that they all killed on the same day. And it's like, if you weren't out in the woods that day, or, sometimes I'll do the before the work hunts and I'll be out there for an hour or so. And then all of a sudden it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock, all these pictures come rolling in. It's like, man.
I know. You're like, damn it, if only I would have waited yet. Or even like you go out and you don't hear anything or something. Like you said, you only got a little bit of time, and all of a sudden, freaking 11 o'clock. Oh, 10 a.m. bird. You're like, oh man, dude, I should have been out there at 10.
Yep. It'll drive you wild. It will definitely drive you wild if you let it.
Oh, I know.
Deer hunting's probably worse though, because I don't get out deer hunting nearly as much as I do turkey hunting. Because turkey hunting, I can go out for an hour or two easily. If they gobble, they let me know where they're at. Deer don't gobble, so they don't do a very good job of letting me know where they're at. So it's just totally different. So I don't get out as much, and it's like you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, here they come rolling in. It's October 18th or something random, and you got all these bucks hitting the ground. And you're like, man, was today the day? You know, the trail cameras are going off.
Oh man, I know, man. Yeah, or even you're just sitting there, you're like, haven't got any big bucks on camera whatsoever. You're like, I'll whack it down. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's whatever. And all of a sudden you're sitting there and like 45 minutes into the sit, all of a sudden you look up off your phone, you're like, oh, don't go. Here's a huge buck. You know what I mean? Freaking, it's right there and then. You know what I mean? You know how it is.
Yeah, it can get wild. I know a lot of people out there looking forward to deer season. It's been a long, really like weird weather spring that we've had. It's been green up was super early. It's been hot. It's been rainy. It's just like, I think a lot of people are just fed up with all this thick, nasty woods, and they're like, let's just get to the fall and start deer season already. But, you know, I'm not one of those guys, unfortunately.
Oh man. I know I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, man. I still have some cameras out, and they've been blown up with deer lately, man. And I'm itching so bad, man. But it's so green, and I want to go out and pick up those cameras, and I need to do a little bit of maintenance on them, and I need to do some other stuff. But right now, I just know I'm going to go out, and within the first 5 seconds of walking into the woods, I know I'm going to get a big old spider web right in my face.
That's why you got to carry one of them spider sticks, bud.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yep. Those are the best. I'll be honest though, we saw a ton of deer on the way up here tonight. I mean, dude, they were all over. I was basically just herding deer off the roads the whole way to my camp. It was wild.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
That's a good sign, buddy.
Dude, I'm telling you, there were so many deer. I ain't never seen it like that before. I mean, it's cold. That's the nice part. You know, we've had some hot days, and it chilled off really nice this evening, and there are just deer out everywhere. Bucks, does. The other day, we've been seeing fawns, a lot of fawns. Yeah. It was cool. I was watching a mama doe. She was grooming her fawn the other day out in the field. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
So
I've seen 2 fawns so far.
Yeah. I've seen all individual fawns though. I haven't seen like any pairs. We walked in on one who was she was holding tight. Yeah. She didn't move or anything, and we just kind of backed off and walked away. So there could have been a second one there somewhere. Yeah. And then I jumped the same one now twice in the same area. She's been like right outside of our ground blind. Actually, when I shot my turkey the other day, when I went to go get it, I jumped the fawn. So I almost had to shoot over top of this fawn damn near from where she was, you know. Like 5 yards to the right of the turkey when I dropped them. That's how.
Dang, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. And she jumped up and ran away. I was like, no wonder that snorted us for like 35 minutes in the pitch black this morning when we got in. She wasn't leaving.
Oh, that's funny.
She just kept snorting at us. I don't know, but yeah, let's jump into last fall then, because dude, we've kind of teased it a little bit, and you had a hell of a year, like you said. You killed like 11 different deer, different species. You were all over the country, things, and like, yeah. And I always, by the way, love like your guys' content with like the bows, with the deer drives and stuff. I think that's the coolest shit ever.
Oh yeah, that's just so fun, dude. I can't wait for that. That's like after like Thanksgiving, that's kind of when we start doing the drives. But who knows, dude? Maybe we'll do a Maryland opening day deer drive here with our bows. No, we ain't gonna do that. That'd be wild though.
That would be wild.
I wouldn't put it.
You know how many pissed off Marylanders, dude? Oh my god, dude, they'd be all over the Facebook groups. Can you imagine that?
All these out-of-staters, they don't know what they're doing.
These damn PA residents, sons of bitches, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's not far off from the first day Austin and I had down in the Pittsburgh area in that early season that one year.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there were dudes all over that place. They were walking around just like Elmer Fudd trying to hunt deer, walking around through the woods.
Oh man, that sounds like fun.
It was a blast.
We saw 0 deer.
Oh, sucks.
Well, let's get into it, man. Share some really good stories from last year. We want to hear all about it.
All right. Well, started off, I think in like later August. I went out to South Dakota, killed an antelope out there. That was with an outfitter, which was kind of like that was my first really. I mean, I was guiding before, but that was my first like actual time where like I went with an outfitter. You know what I mean? It was. I mean, it was an experience. Would I do it again? I don't know. I mean, like there's nothing like going out like struggling. You know what I mean? And then when you finally succeed, it's like, oh man, it's freaking awesome. Like, you know, like, dude, they got like they're great guys. Like, you know, I mean, dude, they got me right the first day I was freaking, you know, done in South Dakota. Like, dude, they freaking put you on them. But like, it wasn't really like anything like I'm used to, where it's like the struggle bus for a little bit, or maybe like the first day success is, you know, still cool, but like it wasn't like anything like, you know, where you actually had to go out and find the goats. Like, you know, I got there and I was like, all right, we're gonna spin around. And like he was like, yeah, let's spin around. So we spun around and we saw a bunch. And I was like, all right, so like, do I get to pick where I sit then, or like, you know, what do we do? You just drop me off at a pin in the morning, or like what? He's like, oh no, dude. He's like, here, we got this buck coming into this alfalfa here. He's like, here he is. He's like, he's been coming in every single day. He's like, he's gonna probably come in with like a whole group of does. You know, he'll probably be in your front window and then maybe work to your right. He's like, so I keep your front window fully down and your left one just cracked a little bit, you know. And I was like, huh. And he's like, and maybe crack the back one too, just in case he's back there. You know, you can peek out. So I was like, all right, you know, so I freaking slid in there in the morning, dude, and sure enough, here comes all these does. I mean, we got the video up on the channel. You guys can watch the hunt. But all these does come in, the buck ain't there. I'm like, what the heck, dude? Like, this is weird. And of course, peek out to the left, there he is, dude, like 40 yards. And I freaking had to, you know, get all kind of contorted in the blind, you know, snaggle stuff, close windows, and freaking, dude, my back arm when I shot hit the door, dude, I freaking shot right under him. And, you know, they all tear out of the alfalfa patch, and they go down to my right. You know, they're mingling down in there like 250, and all of a sudden, dude, whoop, here they come right back to that damn alfalfa, dude, and freaking whoop, bucks the first one in, I think. And dude, I shoot him at like 25 yards, you know, and then pretty much like jumps out of the alfalfa, dies, and the dude's like, oh yeah, I've just watched it go down. You know, they were watching back on the road, so they take the truck up, get it, you know, and we pretty much just. We don't have a drag, dude. We just throw in the back of the truck, you know, and freaking go off. And, you know, he's like, oh, you know, I'm going to, you know, dice her up for you. I'm like, I don't need to help her. I was like, dude, I can help. He's like, nah, man. He's like, it's easier if I just do it. Like, you know, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, you know, I killed a good goat, but it don't feel the same. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like you pretty much just like got it handed to you, and that you pretty much did. You know what I mean? But so, I mean, it was still fun. And then I went to Delaware, and I was on like some good bucks down there. Dude, that early season down in Delaware is so rough. Just it's so hot, and then like all the deer are out in all the private ag fields, you know. So if you don't have any permission on private, you're pretty much SOL, you know. So it was pretty much a bust. And then Maryland opened, and I missed a freaking stud of a buck, dude. Like one of the first days, freaking just stupid. I was like focused on deer above me. I was watching like another 8-point. And he was up to the left, and all the deer were coming out of this laurel to the left, like probably like 100 yards. And like I had to like I'm sitting in my saddle, and I'm facing kind of forward. My bow's on my left side, my camera's on the right side. So I freaking had the camera arm in between me and the tree trunk, and I'm filming these deer off to the left. Right, when he goes back up in the laurel, I lose him, and I'm like, dang it, dude. I was like, my gut was just like, I need to move and I need to shift up there because that is where all the deer are freaking at. But I was like, it's already like 6 o'clock. I was like, I can't move right now. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there like all depressed. I didn't move the camera back. You know, I didn't reset, nothing. I was just like, dang, I'm not killing a deer. You know, like 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, I'm still looking up there in the laurel. All of a sudden, I hear snap right in front of me. I look up. Dude, here's like probably like 130-inch buck, 140-inch buck right in front of me at like 30 yards, cutting right through my shooting gap at 25. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it was wide open. Like, if I would have just been paying attention and been like set, I would have had probably like a 20-yard chip shot at this buck, you know, off like my strong side. Like everything would have been good, dude. So I get there, I'm like see him obviously. I move the camera where he freaking catches me, right? So now it's like pretty much tree trunk, camera, me. And I'm like, oh man, I freeze. You know, he freezes. He's freaking looking. And I'm like, oh, dude, it's over. Dude, he freaking wheels and circles me, and then comes down on my right side. So he gets in the thick stuff, and there's like a little longer road on my right side. So I turn the camera real quick. And I grab my bow, and instead of like turning around fully in my saddle and standing up and like, you know, 360 and pretty much, I just made the mistake and grabbed it, went right over the bridge, and I was like, oh, he is dead, dude. Like, I had him up on my wall, everything already, you know. I freaking pull back, and he's standing there 25 yards, freaking go up on him, and just, bam, dude, hit it, and I'm like, oh, he's dead, dude. Freaking bam, right over top his back. I mean, I can't even tell you where he went after that because I was just like, oh, man, I just, like, that miss right there took years off my life. Like, that changed my life, man. I went home, I cut my hair, dude. Like, I changed my whole life after that. You know, I was like, you know how it is, dude. Like, I mean, dude, that deer could have ran out 40 yards and stopped, dude. I was so just locked in. I'm like, oh, I just blew the biggest opportunity of my life right here. But then, like, a couple days later, I was like, there was another buck. I mean, he was way littler than this one, obviously, and freaking, he stood out there like 35 on pretty much that same like downward hill. And I was like, all right, dude. I was like, I need to kill something at this point. You know, I think I killed a doe early, but at this point, I was like, I need to kill like a buck, you know? So I freaking, of course, dude, 10 ringed him at freaking 35 yards. You know, he ran probably 40, 50 yards piled up. And then after that, I think I killed my PA buck. I think I killed a PA doe, and I killed my PA buck. I think it was pretty like early in October. And that was pretty wild. Like, that one's up on the channel too, and freaking slid into those peas a couple days prior. Seen a decent buck, seen a pile of does, seen like, you know, a couple little bucks too. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna slide back in next time the wind gets good. But I'm pretty much gonna go down and set up. It's a big like CRP field, and then it's like a little hill. And I was pretty much sitting on this hill overlooking the swamp bottom. So the swamp bottom's probably like 40 yards out in front of me, and this deer skirted me at like 60 yards, and he hit this rub, and I was like, oh man, I pinned a tree right down in there. It's pretty much just like, you know, right out of the swamp bottom, bam, like there's like just nasty thickness, and I mean, it's right in there. I was like, this is the spot I need to be, dude. Like, I'll kill a deer in there. I know I will. So I waited till the wind was good, slid back in there, and I freaking got in late. It was one of those mornings where like, it was like, oh man, I ain't killing anything. I'm running late, you know what I mean? So I set up on the ground. There's no trees to get in. I put my platform on like pretty much seating level, and then like it's just super thick. You pretty much have to like stand up to even freaking see your shoot, you know. And they were, sure enough, like first thing, all of a sudden I just hear, and I look over to my right, dude. Here comes my buck, and he's just freaking. Dude, I mean, like, you know, he's kind of getting it a little bit, coming right to me, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's freaking over, you know. I freaking draw back, and I mean, he's at like 5 yards in front of me. And right before I shot, dude, I see this little blue thing sticking out of him on the other side. And I like, it was do or die at this point. You know, I was like, screw it. Bam, dude. I mean, as soon as I seen that, freaking pretty much shot. And freaking, I thought I like nailed him. And dude, he runs off, and I'm like, dude, was that a freaking Luminok in him? I was like, I don't even know. And I was like, I'm just going to walk back to the truck and give him like time and try to like find this Luminok, you know what I mean? Or like try to see what the heck it's going on. So I freaking, pretty much the truck is the way he ran. So I get out on the blood trail. Dude, within like 10 yards of where I shot him, I see like a blue arrow, like a blue Luminok sitting on the ground, you know, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, here's a dude's arrow, dude. Some like Vector arrow. He has a Grim Reaper broadhead on it. Dude, I kid you not, it probably like just had blood on pretty much just the broadhead, and the whole front, like the whole tip's all bent. Like, you can tell the dude just hit straight bone on it. And I was like, dude, I can't believe this, you know? And I was like, I got to find this buck before whoever shot this buck is going to go track him. You know what I mean? I was like, because to be honest with you, I didn't want to deal with like talking to the dude. I just wanted to get the buck and just boop, out of there, you know, have him not even know. So I was like, that's my plan, dude. I went up in the CRP, dude. I lost it in the CRP. Well, it turned out, I mean, I didn't like, you know, get lost, but I was just like kind of doing circles trying to find it. And I finally found it. It was probably like 45 minutes later. He actually cut, as soon as he hit that CRP, he just cut right and hugged that tree line, and like went probably 40, 50 yards down that tree line and then cut back in the swamp. So I freaking follow it out. And I mean, I'm following, you know how it is following the CRP stuff. Like, it's nasty to try to follow because it's all brown, you know what I mean? Like, blood does not stand out good on it. So I freaking find where he cuts in the woods, get down on him. And I mean, like, now it's starting to open up a little bit more, and it keeps going out. So I'm going out, and all of a sudden it's this big like road, right? And it's kind of going uphill. So I'm right in the middle of the hill, and I step out on this logging road, and I look up to my left, dude. Here's 3 dudes up there. 2 of them have bows, 1 of them don't. I'm like, did you guys just shoot a buck? And he's like, yeah, man. And I was like, I shot him too, man. And he's like, what? And so dude, they come down, and dude, he was like brand new to hunting. You know, the kid that actually shot the buck didn't even have his bow. Like his other two buddies had bows, and I was like, dude, I was like, I shot him, man. I was like, I think I like hit him pretty good. I was like, where do you think you hit him? And he was like, I don't know, man. It looked like just a little bit front or something like that. And I was like, dude, your arrow was laying down in the swamp. It looks like you like got hardcore shoulder, you know what I mean? He's like, oh really? He's like, well, I'm gonna go out to where I shot the buck. And I was like, dude, I'm like pretty far into this track, but you go where you want, you know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna beat me to this deer. So I'm still tracking these deer. Him and his buddy went out to where he initially shot the deer, and one of his other buddies was kind of just like up here, like, where should I go? And I was like, dude, you can come with me if you want. So dude, he's following me behind me, and I mean, like, I can follow this deer's tracks. I'm hardly following blood at this point, and it's freaking it kind of goes across this road, and then it like there's a point, and then it's like a little creek bottom down the bottom. And dude, sure enough, around that point, boom, I spot him right down the bottom. I'm like, oh, he is, like, it was probably like 30 yards, and the dude's behind me, and he's like, put another arrow in it, but he was so thick I couldn't. And the deer's staring right at me. I was like, oh, dude, I was like, I can't even move, dude. And I guess the dude was texting his buddies, because all of a sudden I just hear like some rocks coming behind me. So it was his buddies, and the deer stands up, and I freaking run like 10 yards, freaking knocking on the arrow, and freaking whack. Dude, I crushed him this time, and he went like maybe 15 yards piled up, and the dude's like, sweet, man, my buck. And I was like, dude, I mean, like, you want your buck to go like this, man? And he's like, it's my first buck ever, dude. And I was like, dude, we got into, like, I'm not into it, but I was like, dude, you really want to say with your first buck that, oh yeah, I shot him, and then another dude put 2 more arrows into him, you know, but it's my buck. I was like, do you really want to do like that? I was like, no offense to you, bud, but like, I don't think your arrow like killed this deer. I was like, my arrow like killed the deer, you know? I was like, if anything, I feel like it should be my buck. He's like, dude, we can split it. I was like, dude, I'm not splitting it, dude. I was like, dude, it's either yours or it's mine. I was like, it's like, you know, and dude, I mean, it was an awkward, you know, silence for a little bit too. And his buddy's like, just rock, paper, scissors for it. And I was like, all right, fine. You know what? You want to rock, paper, scissors?
No way.
Let's do it, dude. Yeah, so I freaking rock, paper, scissors. And I'm pretty good at rock, paper, scissors. So I was like, all right, best of 3. Dude, I beat him 2 out of 3, dude. And he was like, oh, man, you know, we shook on it. And we're all good, so. But
You gotta be shitting me.
no, dude, that's legitimately how it went, dude. That was my PA buck.
Tell me you got all this stuff on video, man.
Oh, I mean, dude, it's up on the channel, dude. You can go watch it. Yeah, you can go
Oh
watch it.
man, I'm gonna watch it tonight. As soon as we get off of here, I'm
Yeah,
watching it.
yeah, I mean, I got the whole rock, paper, scissors on film, if I remember correctly, dude. Like, the whole thing. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's that one where, like, it's the one that's like, I don't even know. It's like, what it's even called, but it's like pretty much a picture of like, you know, the buck laying. I mean, dude, yeah, you watch it. It's a good video, I think. But,
That was a wild
Yeah,
story,
dude.
man. That was absolutely crazy.
yeah, dude, it was a wild story, but honestly, I hope it never happens again. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I can
it's like,
imagine.
I hate dealing with people in there, dude. Like, that's the worst. Like, that is the absolute worst when you got to deal with freaking people. But
Especially when that guy
Yeah.
shot it too, and he's like convinced that, you know, that's his buck, and you
I know,
That's-
dude. I'm like,
how
dude,
does that
it's not
happen?
Your buck, dude. Yeah, it's like, dude, I've never had that happen before, and I never want it to happen again. You know what I mean? Like, I felt bad, but like, then again, I didn't really feel that bad, because I was like, I killed him, man. You know what I mean? Like, dude, your arrow would not have killed that deer. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, my first shot, it hit him low. It hit him, and it actually, I thought I like crushed him, dude, but it actually hit him low, and he was actually cornering 2 a little bit. So I hit him like where I should, but came out super far back, so it was mainly guts. So that's why he ran and bedded down. You know what I mean? Like, by the creek, like, he was gonna die on that first shot that I shot. But like, the dude shot, dude, you could see right in the, I mean, even in the video, you can tell, like, dude, he hit him right in the shoulder, dude. Like, he would not have killed that buck at all.
Yeah.
It was,
That's tough, man, because like you said, you got a guy that's rather new into hunting.
I know. It's like, I don't want to be just the bearer of bad news here, but like, dude,
Yeah.
I was like, I even told him, I was like, dude, I hunt a bunch of different states, man. I was like, you know, I like, if you let me, I was like, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, you know, if I killed this PA bug, I was like, dude, this opens so much more for me. I was like, I could go to Maryland, I can go to Dell, I can go to a bunch of different states. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, you can keep hunting, dude. You know what I mean? I was like, it's like early October, dude. You haven't even reached good stuff yet. You know what I mean? I was like, I like, dude, I want to hang your head about it. You know, like, you know, you're still in it. It you know, it is what it is. So.
The way I see it, though, like, if he had shot his first arrow and it was a fatal hit,
Oh,
And
totally different. Totally
that
different.
by you totally changes that scenario. But I am 100% in support of that being your deer. In my mind, that's just the way it works. Just because someone else hits a deer with an arrow, it doesn't claim anything. You gotta put a good clean shot on them, and luckily, for that deer's sake, you were able to put in 2 follow-up shots to actually, keep this deer from suffering for the next few weeks while that wound heals.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yep, 100%.
That's wild though. This is the second story from people I know that led to an not an altercation, but basically running into someone in the woods and it turning into a rock, paper, scissors match to see a result of the hunt. I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently I need to get sharper on my rock, paper, scissors game.
Start practicing. Yeah, boys. It's coming.
Ouch, but I need to get a lot better.
Chuck, I didn't even think about that.
I'm not even going to give you I'm not even going to give you boys my strategy. You just got to learn it over time.
I've studied the the mindset behind it, like whether you're facing a male or female opponent and whatnot. And it's funny you observe after learning some of that stuff, and it's actually not far off. It's funny.
Yeah, I think I'm like, dude, to be honest with you, it was the dude, and I was like, I think the first one I beat him on, I think I threw paper, and I think he threw a rock, and I was like, dude, I think he's gonna throw a rock. You know what I mean? Sure enough, paper, bam, beat him. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. And I think the other one we did, I think it might have been, we both went rock or something. I'm trying to watching the video, and then the next one it was freaking like I went paper again, he did rock, and I was like, oh baby, it's over. You know what I mean? But when in doubt, throw paper.
When in doubt, go paper.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then what else happened after that? I killed a couple more doe, I think. Oh, then I never really, like I said, I've never really been a rifle hunter, right? So like after that, I was like, screw it, dude. I was like, I might as well. Oh no, my bad. After that, I killed. Dude, it all like blends together. I think I went out to Indiana. I killed a doe out there. And then I don't know why, like I should have tried to stay for a buck, but I had some like stuff going on in my life, so I had to get home. So I freaking shot a doe, and was like, all right, I'm getting out of here. So killed in Indiana, and then I went to, then I went to Maryland again. I think I killed a buck down in Maryland, or maybe I have those two flip flop. Maybe I killed another buck in Maryland. And then in like November, you know what I mean, when it was like freaking just nuts, and then killed in Indiana, and then I came back, and then rifle season opened up in Delaware, and I was like, I don't have a straight wall cartridge gun. I was like, I gotta just buy an inline muzzleloader, dude. So I found this used muzzleloader over at Kinsey's, went and freaking bought it, went to my buddy's house, shot it in real quick. And then I had the spot pin, and I was like, oh, dude, it was like a perfect little escape route, and I was like, all right, it's Saturday. I was like, all this pressure is going to be in here. I was like, I'm getting right to the escape route and seeing what happens. Dude, sure enough, freaking, I get in there, and freaking whole van full of Amish pulls up, dude, and they're like, oh, yeah. They're like, where are you going? Like I told them, just roughly, and they're like, all right, we'll stay out of there. And I was like, all right. Drive some deer to me, boys. And they're like, oh, we got you, or something like that. You know how it is. And then freaking dude, like first thing, all of a sudden here comes this buck, dude, and I freaking bam, shot him. That was a cool hunt. I got that one up on the channel too. And then that was my first like hunt with the muzzleloader, and I freaking killed on it, And then I think I killed a Sika the next time I went out with it. And then shot one. My goal this year, I was like, I want to kill one with the recurve. So I started shooting recurve again heavy, like kind of middle November, and I freaking went out late season, and I shot one with it, and dude, I couldn't find it. It sucked. It was like freaking just picture perfect, and dude, I just could not find. I mean, I searched for like 2 days on this doe, and I could not find her, dude, anywhere. So I kind of like broke my heart a little bit, but then went out with the muzzleloader again. I think I killed another 2 doe with it, and yeah, then just pretty much did deer drives the rest of the year. So yeah, that's pretty much my season.
I mean, that's a heck of a season. Either way you put it, man. That's it was action packed. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It sounds confusing, and I meant it is confusing. You know what I mean? Like I hunt a lot, so like I'm always bouncing around. Like it's not like I'm just going on these little trips and like, all right, I hit Indiana, I hit Illinois. It's not like that. It's like I just freaking bounce around to Maryland, PA, Delaware, Maryland, PA, Delaware, and that's pretty much what I did this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that's awesome, man.
but yeah, it
That
was
is
fun, dude.
awesome.
I love it, dude. I love it.
One of
I
these
was I
days,
was
I'm going to want to pick your brain a little bit about the Maryland hunting, but I'm not
all
going to
right,
do it
yeah, that's fine,
today.
dude. All right, that's all right.
Yeah, that's something that, we're not super duper close to Maryland, but we're not that far away from Maryland. And it seems like there's some pretty decent opportunity for, not only just, deer and turkey, it seems, and then Sika. Like there's a lot of opportunity in Maryland, and it's close enough that we should probably take more advantage of Austin.
I agree,
Oh yeah,
man. I
yeah.
think the
Maryland's
Sika hunting is
Maryland.
kind of cool. That's one of those things. But then again, like you were talking about how you hunted Delaware this year, just driving through Delaware. I mean, it looks picture perfect a lot of those places. But like you were saying, those ag fields and stuff are all private. You're gonna have to do
Yeah.
your homework and really get in there to do that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you can, obviously you can still kill them. Like obviously you can still kill them. But yeah, dude, like I don't know, man. Like that, like Maryland is the most diverse state I've ever seen. Like you can ask anyone. Like you can go down to Eastern Shore and it is just flat ag land. You know what I mean? And the big old pines, and then you go just pretty much west, just a little bit of that, and getting all that Sika swamp stuff. You know what I mean? I mean that's still kind of Eastern Shore. It's still Eastern Shore, and then like you go up north towards me, and it's like pretty much kind of looks like PA, you know what I mean? And then you go out west, and I mean it's just straight mountains and hills and freaking it's so diverse, man. It's awesome. Yeah, it's a cool state, and it's nice too because it's a $3 state with your bonus buck, you know what I mean? And then you can kill like I'm in a region B. I don't even know how many does. I think it's like 26 does or like 22 does, something like that. So every single time you can go out, if you want to kill a doe, you pretty much can, you know.
That's wild. Like it's so
Yeah,
funny. We were
and
talking
it's
about
cheap
that
too.
earlier with like Florida
Yeah.
hunting and stuff. It always blows my mind hearing these different, laws and limits in different states. Like
hmm
having that many deer that you need to take care of. Like compared to Pennsylvania, we have a lot of deer, but the way that we
Yeah.
manage it, it's nowhere even close to some of these states where you're allowed like I think South Carolina, what are you allowed? Like five deer a day or something like that. Like it just blows
Yeah,
my
something
mind
crazy.
constantly.
I'm going
Yep.
back. I'm reviewing that video right now. I'm watching the rock, paper, scissors go down. You actually beat him with scissors.
Oh, did I? Is it scissors? My bad. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he went
I,
paper, you went scissors, you both went rock, and then you went right back to scissors, and he went paper.
okay. So yeah, don't go paper then, boys. I changed up my mind. Scissors it is, baby. Scissors. Scissors the
Hey,
guy. My
hey,
bad.
paper still would have won. I mean, it would have been a draw,
Yeah,
then a
yeah.
win, and then a draw. So I mean,
Yep.
not a
I don't.
top worst advice.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's hard to remember every little detail. You know
What's
what I mean? Without.
What's crazy is I've seen this video and
Yeah.
how close encounter, but I didn't remember either. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I fall asleep to them. Like that's my
Yeah.
I go to bed at night. I throw YouTube channel videos on. That's what I do. I'm almost one. I just fell asleep after you shot that deer, and I never saw the rest of this video. I did not remember that part of it, the rock paper scissors, but I remember that deer limping in and
Yep.
close quarter shot. I remember
Yep.
it for sure. So
Yep.
that's
And it's kind of wild. Like in the camera, I had the camera out a little bit, so you can kind of see him kind of freaking come. But it was like when I stood up and actually seen him, dude, I couldn't tell he was freaking limping at that time. Like I just thought he was freaking just kind of coming in here. You know what I mean? Like, and it was freaking tight. I mean, you've seen how tight it is. Like,
yeah, dude.
but yeah, it was
That
a
was,
wild one, dude. That was a fun hunt. That was a fun hunt.
yeah, that is seriously cool.
Mhm.
So what's in store for this fall then? What do you got? Any big plans?
Well, I put in for Kansas, but I didn't draw Kansas somehow. So I'm not going to Kansas. I'm either thinking about Oklahoma or Kentucky, or I might do both, and then I'll probably hit Indiana again. And then I might also, New Mexico has like a leftover, elk, just leftover tag thing coming up. So I might try to see if I can snag an elk tag out there, but that's going to be pretty far fetched. So that probably won't happen. But probably be Oklahoma, Kentucky, Indiana. I don't know. I could see myself going to Oklahoma and Kentucky. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oklahoma's got some studs, dude. That is a state that I would love to get back out to and hunt deer in. Because, man, there are some really nice deer in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's like it's right below Kansas. So I was like, oh, I'm from Kansas. I was like, I still want to be out there. So I don't know. But the only bad side is now the licenses are they jacked them up, dude. Now a deer tag out there is $500, and then you also got to get a $210
Dang.
hunt license. So now it becomes $710 to go out there and hunt a deer. You know what I mean?
For that.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. You know, like that's pretty wild. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna hit Oklahoma or not. I mean, I want to. I pinned a lot of stuff when I was out there turkey hunting, and it looks phenomenal. Like it looks like it looks cool, you know. And then my buddy Trey, he always goes to Kentucky, so he was like, dude, well, since we didn't draw Kansas, he was like, dude, just come to Kentucky with us. So I'll probably go to Kentucky with them too, but we'll see. I also put in for some Florida hunts too, so if I get any of them, I'll probably go down to Florida. So I don't know. I mean, nothing's like set in stone, you know what I mean? Besides 100% Delaware, Maryland, and PA, you know. But anything else is just kind of a bonus. But I'll definitely hit some other states. I'll probably hit Indiana again too. Indiana's a fun one. So
Indiana's
yeah,
a sleeper, dude. That state can
dude,
be
Indiana's
bananas.
a sleeper. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, dude. Dude. I'll be like, yeah, my buddy. I went out there with the owner of Dryad and like kind of our like it was his buddy, but like now we're kind of mutual buddies now. You know kind of how it goes. But dude, he shot like 194-inch deer off this private piece. You know what I mean? It's like it's insane how big a bucks they got out there.
Yeah.
That
The
is
problem with
unreal.
Indiana, it's not a huge state, and there's not a
I
ton.
know.
So that's why it falls, to the wayside to like an Illinois
Yeah.
or Iowa, Kansas, all these other places. But man, those are some good states. Kentucky, that's not a slouch of a state either. That's a pretty dang good whitetail state. So
Yep.
I think if you go to one or two of them, even you're gonna
I'll
have
be all
a
right.
really fun fall. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, I'll have a fun fall regardless. But like, yeah, it's just I don't know like 100% what I'm doing yet. But I'm still working on stuff. So
Yeah,
definitely hunting, that's for sure.
I'm a little upset I didn't go out to Oklahoma 3-4 years ago now when I was out there for turkey. I already had my license and everything. I was going to go back out for deer, and some plans fell through. We had access to private land, and then it fell through. So I was like, well, we can still do the public land thing, but, do you want to drive 16 hours and go do it or not? So,
Yeah,
the bummer.
that's the worst. That's the worst part is those long drives. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a bummer that they jacked it up so much, dude. Like that's a little excessive, man. Like that, every state's like been jacking up their. Well, I mean, everything's been getting freaking outrageous. You know what I mean? But it's just like, dude, that's like a turn off. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think a lot of people will be hunting Oklahoma. I feel like maybe a couple years from now, dude, Oklahoma might have some hammer bucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're only going to have residents hunting there, and there's not a ton of residents in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
For one. And there's already giant bucks there. So it's like double, almost triple the price it was going to be for me to go out there and do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back in the day, dude, it was you could get I don't even think you had to get your hunting license to hunt deer. All you had to get was your $300 deer tag.
Yeah, it was $300. I know that.
Yep. Yeah, them glory days are over though.
Yeah, I guess so. Missed out. Well, we've teased it a bunch, but I do want to cover before we let you go your YouTube channel, man. In the present, we got to talk in the presents because that is one heck of a channel, dude.
Oh, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I guess to begin with, coming from somebody who grew up in Pennsylvania, kind of learned on his own, started things on his own, just out there doing it. Where did the camera come into play, and where did the first thoughts of, hey, let's kind of put this together, make videos, and throw them up on YouTube?
Yeah, so I've always kind of been into like just media stuff. I've always kind of like camera stuff, and I remember like my buddy Alex, like I said, he kind of took me under his wing, like showed me all the hunt stuff. But Dude, I remember going over to his house and watching on the Outdoor Channel, like Chris Brackett arrow fliction, and just thinking that was the coolest thing ever, dude. Like, I remember going out with BB guns and just shooting anything that moved on his property. Like, I don't care if it was a bird, a rabbit, a squirrel, groundhog, a coon. Dude, if we seen it and it moved, it was getting a BB chucked at it. You know what I mean? So we just had like little point and shoot cameras, like them little Nikon point and shoot ones. Dude, we just filmed pretty much any little Tweety bird hunt or any kind of like little just freaking anything middle schoolers do, you know what I mean? And then pretty much, edited it, and we never put it up on YouTube or nothing, but that was kind of like the start of all of it. And then high school came, and I kind of got away from the camera stuff. I didn't really do it. I was just kind of involved in sports, and I still hunted, you know what I mean? But I wasn't really filming anything. And I took some like camera classes. And then when I got out of school, my mom got me for Christmas. She got me like one of them Canon T5s, and I remember being like, dude, I think I can like film a hunt with it. So I went down to Jersey and I killed a doe and I filmed it, and I just filmed the kill shot, And then I remember coming back and showing Alex and being like, dude, Alex, I think we can like film this stuff and film it better and actually like make videos on it and like put it on YouTube, dude, to like might be able to like do something with it. And he's like, I'm in, man. He was like, let's do it. So I remember like the first video, he was like, we're going out. He had like a little hunt club out in Ohio, and he was like, it's only bow only. So he's like, dude, come out and film me on a turkey hunt. So I was like, all right. So I went out and filmed him shoot a turkey, and I remember, like, I got a bunch of shots. I got the whole nine. We put it together, and like, dude, I remember thinking that thing was just like the best piece of video ever, like Nat Geo quality, And then I showed some of my buddies, dude, they were just laughing nonstop, and I'm like, what's wrong, And like I'm getting all like embarrassed and like, dude, this is the shakiest thing I've ever seen, you know what I mean? Like, this is terrible, And I'm like, damn it. I'm like, damn it. Well, I gotta get better. So it just slowly just, got better, dude. And like, like just watching people's how that watching other shows how they did it, like Heartland Bowhunter was a big influence on me, seeing how they used all their transitions and how they kind of told the story. I just kind of followed that. And then the Untamed internship, like just running a camera the full year, that really like helped me learn how to run a YouTube channel, and seeing how they ran their YouTube channel. Just I think we went from, before I took that internship, I think I was at like 160 subscribers, 168 subscribers. And then after that, dude, it just freaking blew up real quick, So that's kind of how that all happened.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
awesome,
man. It's been a
Yeah,
wild
I had
ride
some,
for sure, it seems like.
oh yeah, dude. And I've had some other buddies, come on, and then just, stuff doesn't work out, and it is what it is. It's still fun. Like I'm still enjoying it, and it's probably better than it ever was. You know what I mean? So it's working out.
Yeah, the burnout with that kind of stuff can definitely happen, and
Oh yeah, man.
you get to forgetting why you started it in the first place, and
Yup.
and that's no fun either. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. You can tell your enthusiasm, your passion for all this is just, it comes through in your videos, it comes through in your podcast, everything, all the content that you put out there, you can tell it's like, this is a real deal. You're all about this lifestyle, man. And
I love it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love it. It's like I don't know. I feel like, I don't want people to think I'm like an influencer, dude. I'm not, man. I'm just a freaking average Joe who likes to hunt and film his stuff, man. If you don't watch any of her videos, oh well, man. I'll still watch them, because it still puts me right back in the mood for it. You know what I mean? I could go back and watch one of my hunts from any years ago, and it just puts me right back in it. You know how it is. So that's why I'm doing it, dude. It's fun, dude. I love it.
Heck yeah. Well, everyone go check him out. In the Presence is his YouTube channel. Like I said, tons of great content, local content, everything we just kind of covered. This is what he's putting out there. And they're fun videos, man. They're fun videos to watch. They're, a lot of them are very highly packed with action. And it's not, your typical TV channel type content. It's real deal. So,
yeah, well, I appreciate that, bud.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm ready to go hit the hay here up at the camp. So unless we want to talk about something else and hit another subject, I'm game for it.
Well, whatever, but it's up to you guys.
Nah, man, let's let Chuck get to bed. He's got some turkey to kill in the morning, man.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Well, thanks for having me on, boys. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you
Heck
taking
yeah,
time
we'll
out of your night, man. This has been great. I appreciate it.
yeah, we'll do it again. Stay in touch. We'll keep following along with you, and we'll definitely have another one on. Maybe closer to deer season, we'll get on and do more of a tactics kind of driven one and less story, I think, if you're cool with that.
Yeah, that sounds good with me.
Cool, dude. Cool.
Cool, man.
We appreciate